there waiting for you. Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's time to rock. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to rock. Unironically, bro, Biden better, bro. Unironically. Man, this is a mask off moment for the left. Make no bones about it. This is a bread tube mask off moment, this pride shit. But, like, I gotta tell you guys, not shocking to me. I've been talking about the radical leftist to Neo-Lib pipeline for months now. And here we are. Thank you, Cloud Massacre, for the little angel. The little angel. Evening bong hit. Yeah. Yeah. Your opinion, how did the stream with TJ go? Only caught part of it. It was fine. Yeah, it was a good discussion. I mean, me and TJ always have good discussions. The differences in our political stances always complement each other well and provide a good basis to have a discussion. I really tried to not get into the antagonistic side of like electoralism, but rather just make the points surrounding it. And once again, I'm left kind of feeling strange because TJ agrees with all of the points surrounding no confidence and surrounding the idea of walking away from electoral politics, but doesn't actually agree with the act of doing it. And so I'm left very kind of like frustrated by it, but that's, you know what I mean? That's nothing else. That's nothing new to me when it comes to this shit. If people do come around to this shit, it takes time. And it takes fucking living through a certain amount of cycles and thinking about things a certain way for a certain amount of time for some people to fucking see it for what it is. That's the way I feel about it anyway. Not really Stockholm Syndrome, just a commitment to being comfortable while changing things. But it gave us both an opportunity to join and unite on something that we very much agree on, which is the fact that people squirting out children into the world does not mean that pride now means something that it didn't used to mean. Is there anybody in here who is shaky on the kind of tone and timbre of pride and what it's meant to be and what it's meant to show and demonstrate? Because it seems to be like there's a lot of people that functionally think that pride is supposed to be a family-friendly, like, street fair where people can get rainbow cotton candy and cute t-shirts and play carnival games. That's not what pride is. Pride is about coming out of the closets and into the streets. Pride is about being audacious and being unwilling to hide what and who you are because it makes people uncomfortable, and that's always what pride has been about. And now people want to run up in here and turn it into like a cotton candy Ferris wheel fest. It's not. You can't really. There's no both sides of this. There really isn't. There's the side of the queer people that established and run the pride parades, and there's the side of moralizing people that want to functionally change a long-standing protest for queer acceptance so that kids can come to it. Period. No. It's not supposed to be a symbolism of us adults and outcasts fighting our riots and coming out of the closets, not just platonically, but, well, okay, yeah, you're right. You mean gay pride. I mean queer pride. I mean queer acceptance. I mean queer visibility. What about gay kids? Pride is a month. Pride is a month, and whether or not you bring a child to a protest is the choice of the parents. So if you happen to be a parent that doesn't want people to see, or doesn't want their children to see assless chaps or a leather daddy or something, then you get a babysitter if you want to go to Pride. Or you go to any one of the other family-friendly, all-ages Pride events that happen all throughout Pride Month, all over the fucking country. You don't demand that a long-standing protest for queer rights, queer visibility, and queer acceptance change so that you can put your toddler on your shoulders and buy them a fucking ice cream cone. Sorry. That's not the way it works. The world does not mold and shape itself around people because they squirted out a baby. And this shit is everywhere. I've talked to you guys about this shit before. This kind of assumption that because you're a parent, you get some special class in society and everybody has to do deference around you because you've got a little kid with you and somehow we're all responsible for raising that kid, so we got to watch our mouths. Fuck that. You don't like what's going on? Take your kid out. It's your job as a parent to decide what your child is exposed to, not society's job to conform itself to your ideas of what you want your child exposed to. This is simple shit. I'm being iffy because being kinky in public does violate consent. It violates consent in the terms of like somebody walking their BDSM partner into a grocery store and parading them around. It does not violate consent at a fucking queer rally. If you're having a queer acceptance rally, queer people coming out and dressing however they fucking want isn't violating anybody's consent. That's the point of the rally. The point of the rally is that their existence, as disgusting and over the top as it may be to you, is not something you get to force into the closet. If it makes you uncomfortable, Zach, I'm sorry, stay away. Go to a non-kink Pride event. Go to a family-friendly, all-ages Pride event. Do not ask Pride to conform to your personal fucking... No, it is not Pride's job to conform to your personal proclivities. I am sorry that you're a sexual assault victim, but being around kink gear does not make those people complicit in your sexual assault. It is your job as a survivor of sexual assault to not expose yourself to shit that triggers your fucking sexual assault. Not society's job to somehow read your mind and know what they can and can't say or do or wear in front of you. That's what Pride is about. I go to Pride events. I'm not even gay. I go to support. I've been to one myself, Tommy. As a bisexual dude, I've been to one Pride event, and I don't think that there was anything about the event that I intended that needed to be changed so that people could bring their shitty little kids to it. Sorry. If your kid can't handle seeing a dude in a GIMP mask, then get a babysitter. You might want to get a babysitter for everything in the goddamn fucking world. But it is not society's job to cling to some fucking orthodoxy to support your little fucking child. Being unapologetic publicly so we don't feel shame for doing things privately due to public opinions exacerbating insecurities. That's part of it, yes. Thanks, Ian. Very nice of you. Let's let that sit there for a minute before we re-spark. This is what happens when the left is constantly shifted to the right. Then you have, unironically, in 2021, lefties making the argument that pride is some kind of deviant sexual thing where people just want to show off to children, which is the exact same argument that Rush Limbaugh used to make when I was a kid in the 90s. No, the whole idea of a parade is not a family thing. There were labor parades that were very fucking rowdy and not meant for children. There have been parades all throughout history that were not events that you brought your fucking children to. Just because it's a parade doesn't mean that there's a clown there doing fucking balloon animal hats. Pride is not a parade, it's a protest. It's a protest against a society that finds the very existence of queer people to be disgusting and forces them to do their business in the back rooms and dingy bars and shitty hotel rooms. Yeah, this idea that just because it's a parade means it's like a Ferris wheel event where you can go get a snow cone for your kid. Sorry. Nope. Yeah, if you think that that's what a parade is, you better call up New Orleans and tell them to cancel Mardi Gras this year. Because I can guarantee you, you go down New Orleans way, you're going to see a dick and some titties flopping around. So you better cancel that one too while we're on the topic of moralizing about the fucking Pride Parade now. This idea that a fucking parade is something that you're supposed to bring your kids to and put up on your shoulders, and a clown comes by and makes them a little Dotson balloon hat and puts it on your head and walks away on stilts. Like, that's not... I'm sorry, you have an infantilized idea of what human fucking behavior is, if that's what you think every goddamn parade is. I want you to go look at pictures of the VJ Day and VE Day parades in New York and count how many fucking toddlers you saw on the street. Those were raucous ticker tape events where people got drunk in the streets and partied. You won't find a ton of pictures of like little toddlers on people's shoulders licking cotton candy and eating popcorn and going, yay! People left their fucking kids at home. VJ Day. That's your last joke tonight, Garrett Logue, so I hope it got a lot of lulls. Next one I see, you're banned. There be rules in this here chat, and you'll be following them too. Vosh's fan base is confused as fuck. There's a lot of people that are like, wait. Like, a lot of people that are used to, like, just kind of puppy dogging everything that Vosh says that are going like, wait. And then watching him do damage control and walk it back and act like he was always for Pride being exactly what it was, and he never said the things that he said. And he's done some weaselly things over the last 2 or 3 days. That lead me to believe that he's not a guy that takes principled stands. He's a guy that throws fucking hot takes out and sees what sticks to the wall, and if it doesn't stick to the wall, he finds a way to argue that he never said it in the first place. That is what we call a person that's got their finger up in the wind and seeing which way it's blowing. You only work that out now? Well, I don't watch a lot of Vosh, so... I follow the guy on Twitter, and I saw a lot of this play out over Twitter. Jams, please. Give me a fucking break, Jams. Give me a fucking break, bro. One of Vosh's main problems is that he always cares about the optics. The optics. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, there's plenty of Pride events that don't have leather daddies at them. Feel free to attend one. He poisoned the well of discourse on purpose. No shit. There's a gay Star Wars group that marches in the Seattle parade. I want to know how to get involved with them. I mean, I think you got to go to the fucking Gagaba system, dude. They're on the planet Gagaba. Just get in your fucking starfighter and set your travel computer for the Gagaba system, and you'll get there, man. I heard that's where they meet. So what are we going to do about this, guys? What are we as leftists going to do about the constant shifting of this discourse to a moralizing, puritanical, right-wing discourse? Like, what are we going to do? What's the answer to this, other than fucking countering it every time we see it? Yeah, Jabba the Gimp lives there, dude. Jabba's gay cousin, Jabba the Gimp. He's actually looks just like Jabba, but the role is reversed between him and that little furry thing, that little creature. Like, Jabba the Hutt likes to dom the little creature, but Jabba the Gimp gets dommed by the little creature. What is that guy's name? Fucking Cantankerous Rex or something? His little creature that he has. Maybe people at Pride should just wear suits and talk about economos. Yeah, dude, maybe they... Dude, you know what it is? Here's what it is, dude. I found out... Salacious Crumb, thank you. I found out the fucking answer to this. I found out the answer to this shit. Here's how it works. Okay, you ready for this? Gay people need to stop acting and dressing so gay at Pride so that kids can come to it. I don't believe nobody's thought of this already. Gay people at Pride, which is about being openly and visibly and unapologetically queer, should dress normal and walk very slowly down the street and give out rainbow cotton candy and t-shirts to the kids. Problem solved. Queer acceptance gained. Yeah, suits and ties are like khaki shorts and polos and flip-flops and expensive sunglasses on croquis. You can walk down the street. They just need to stop acting so gay and stop being so flamboyant. That's all. I mean, there are kids around. You can't be gay in front of kids. Tone that shit down so that kids can be involved. I want a delicious rainbow snow cone. I want to ride the Ferris wheel. Okay? And I want to do it without some gay weirdo in assless chaps walking down the street. You know? Some gay weirdo that gets off on pulling his dick out in front of my kids that I brought of my own volition. You know, like that type of shit. They just... Is this issue as important as the climate crisis? Not everything is ranked on a list like you want it to be of importance. There are many issues of import to discuss in this day and age, and this happens to be one of them. Oh, there we go. How am I going to explain to my kids that gay people exist? That's what it was in the 90s. I have no problem with gays, but can they stop being so gay in public? Because I have to explain to my children why a man's kissing a man. It's like, oh no, no. You have to raise your child and explain to them something going on in the world? Well, pardon me, sir. Allow me to pretend not to be gay. I'll pretend that my lover here is my brother. Hello, business partner. Howdy doody, little one. Just a couple of straights hanging out by the water cooler over here. Are you fucking joking? Same argument, different decade. Well, you know what, Zach? You separate it, but back in the 90s, people didn't. Back in the 90s, people didn't separate it, Zach. All the moral panic about the assless chaps flowed forth from the same well as the moral panic about men and women kissing in public, holding hands in public, being openly gay, being loving in public, giving PDAs. You don't fucking get it. Knock, knock. I was alive and gay then. Knock, knock. Pick up a fucking history book, please. Read in anything about the struggle for gay and queer acceptance in this fucking country, please. If a pride event is held that is all ages, should a kink event or should kink wearing people be banned from entry? How do you police it? Here's how you police it. You don't. As it is now, Pride is an all ages event. People are allowed to bring their children. It is up to them to decide whether or not they want to bring their children. Whether or not they think a conversation with their children can explain the things that they're going to see that are non-traditional that day, or whether to leave the little shits at home. You're starting from the conclusion and arguing backwards, the conclusion being that pride is weird and not good for kids. That ain't for you to decide. That's for a parent to fucking decide. Pride is all ages. You want to bring your kid? Bring him. You don't want to bring your kid? Don't. It's up to you. What isn't up to you is the tone and timbre of an ongoing protest for queer acceptance in this country. Because you decided to fuck and reproduce. Yes, I have my own arbitrary lines for the things that I think are fucking like common to do in public or okay to do in public. Those things go out the window when a group of people is coming together to protest for acceptance and protest against the closeting of queer people in this country. Just like they go out the window on a nude beach or at a swingers club or any number of other venues where you might see some titty or some ass or some dick. I don't think Pride is special in that regard, nor do I think that it needs to sanitize itself for the petty moralizations of some breeding people. Pride did not start as an all-ages bring your kids and have a lollipop event. And it won't be that. Yep. Right-wing talking points flying like fucking bullets out of left-wing mouths now. This is cyclical lesser of two evils voting writ large. This is what happens to the left wing when you allow the Conservative Party to continuously scooch the Overton window and then lock it in. This is what happens. But have you considered harm reduction? No, they're not the new moralizing right-wing Puritans, because right-wing Puritans are still out there saying the same thing about Pride. They've just joined them. They're not the new ones, they've just joined them. Rewind this thing, Danny. We're right in the middle of talking about it, obviously. You're like a dude that walked into the middle of a group of people having a discussion and went like, hey, so, like, we've been having like a fucking almost half-hour-long discussion about the Middle East, and you walked in like, hey, guys, anybody got any thoughts about the Middle East? It's like, shut the fuck up. Listen. And quit dipping in with your questions. This is not like an ongoing forum to search for opinions and shit. DVR is turned on this. If you want to know what we're talking about, rewind. We're actually in the midst, and you should have been able to tell that, of talking about fucking Pride. So don't ask me for my thoughts on Pride when I'm in the midst of them. How long before they start saying not all cops? I mean, I don't know. Seems like it's around the corner. Yeah, if there's nobody in here that has the rules, it's okay. No worries. They're enforced anyway. Hey, Paul, what are your thoughts on Pride? See ya. Let's let these dudes get it out of their system here. Got any more alts you want to throw in? Come on with it. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try and love one another right now. Yeah, very original. What a dumb question. See you later. By the way, stupid questions, one-word posts, non-additive commentary, side commentary, adding side conversations, not going with the flow of the conversation, and otherwise acting like you're not 18 or older, are all against the rules here, as are having no profile pic. So if you don't have a profile pic on your account, don't post here. And if you don't conduct yourself like an 18-year-old, don't post here. There won't be timeouts. There will be permabans for you at the end of it. As long as you abide by those very simple rules, you can stay. If you do not, then you will be gone. Okay? Thank you. This is a chat interactive show, and it depends on the chat being on topic in order for me to react to the chat and answer the questions of the chat. And if you're not willing to participate on that level, don't put anything in the chat. Sit back and listen, because this isn't the place for you. No. Dude, there was a straight pride parade in Boston. Enough said, dude. Just go look at pictures of it. Enough said. A bunch of fucking, like, incel neckbeard dorks painted up like Pepe the Frog dancing in the streets. Unbelievable. Pepe Kekistan, Pepe Kekistan. Pepe Kekistan, Pepe Kekistan, Pepe Kekistan. Oh, yeah, dude. You can go find it. Just search for Boston Straight Pride Parade and you'll see the Pepe Kekistan. They had signs that said, make being normal again. Pepe Kekistan, Pepe. Bunch of sweaty ass fucking neckbeards all painted up in green face paint so they look like Pepe the Frog. Unbelievable, bro. There's your straight pride parade. And I got to tell you, I would drop my kid off in the middle of Haight-Ashbury during the height of Pride in San Francisco and leave them all by themselves before I'd leave them fucking unattended for 1 second at that weirdo fucking panel van convention of Pepe Kekistaners. Make normalcy normal again. That's what it was, yeah. These people. Unbelievable. Bunch of kekes, dude. Bunch of keke Pepistans. Bunch of little shoe-on-head fappers walking around down there. Shoo-woo! Unbelievable. The absolute state of humanity, dude. The absolute fucking state of humanity. God damn us all. Imagine the smell. I don't want to, man. Just like sour neglect. Wait, what's wrong with Shoe now? What's always been wrong with Shoe? Shoe was part of the fucking center-left to alt-right pipeline. She was an unironic Pepe Kekistan memeing, fucking Carl Benjamin quoting, hard fucking barely Neo-Lib. Right on the fucking cusp of being conservative. And she remains there. It's high-fiving Lauren Southern and painting pride events like they're some big fucking kink factory when she was in a DDLG relationship with her last boyfriend. Not that I judge that, because I don't give a fuck what people do in the fucking privacy of their own bedrooms, but let's be real here. Dude, people are fucking weird. Like, my intent in calling that out was not to kink shame people, like I said, in their personal fucking bedrooms and shit. My intent on calling that out was to point out the huge gulf in fucking, like, lived experience versus what is coming out of ShoeOnHead's mouth. It's like these people just discovered that pride is a thing and don't know anything about the history of it, and they just think it's a thing for leather daddies to come out and swing their jiggle their dicks in kids' faces or some shit. Like, me being a fucking libertarian when it comes to those types of things precludes me from getting all up in people's business. I don't care what two fucking consenting adults are doing or how they're doing it in the bedroom. So long as it's adults off in there and fucking consenting, I don't give a fuck. But let's be real about here. Let's be real about it here. Thirsting about being a conservative housewife, publicly thirst posting about fucking Tucker Carlson and shit. I mean, get the fuck off of it, dude. Get the fuck off of it, really. Like, hop off of it for a minute and chill the fuck out. Maybe it's petty, but as one who's on the conservative end of things, pride does not contravene the notion of keeping sexuality behind closed doors, which is a ubiquitous cultural policy for good reason. Whatever, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Pride is exactly about that. Pride is about out of the closets, into the streets, and we're here, we're queer, get used to it. We're here, we're queer, get used to it. It was about being flamboyant and audacious and refusing to do your business in dirty fucking back rooms and dirty bars and shit. The little things that count. That's right, Odin. Thank you. Still, you gotta stop and smell the Paul beard sometimes. Smells good. Pepe. Oh, man. So we got that out of our systems, yeah. I shampoo and condition it. I wash it. Use a special wash for it. But mostly I just let the water do its business. If they ever discover a new flower that gives off a nice smell, they should name it Paul's beard. That's true. They should. You're right. They should. Oh my God, here we go. Who's asking you what you think is doing the homosexual movement or the LGBT community any favors? Who asked you? With what authority do you speak? Who asked you what you think makes LGBTQ people look good? And why do you think that anybody should listen to what you have to say about it, rather than doing whatever the fuck they want? I'm part of the LGBTQ community. Then fucking double shame on you for not knowing better. Shame on you for arguing against your own fucking people. Shame on you for being a fucking Puritan in the face of queer acceptance. Shame on you for kowtowing to fucking moral pearl clutchers who try and paint you and everybody else that is like you as deviants and sexual perverts. Good job, bro. You're definitely rooting for the right side of this argument. Next. It's exhausting. It's just like watching lemmings jump off the cliff one by one after me. I'm the cliff and the void at the end of it, and these lemmings keep lining up with these stupid puritanical moralizing arguments that completely contravene any history of the Pride movement, any history of the queer acceptance movement in the United States and globally. And they keep throwing it at the wall to see if it sticks, and the only thing that sticks is my fucking response. And they watch another lemming jump over the cliff and die, and they're like, maybe I'll try this angle. And the answer's the fucking same, and they jump off the fucking cliff too. Hey, dipshits, maybe you're wrong. Rest of the lemmings that are like waiting to scoot your ass off the cliff after the last dumbass that made a stupid argument, maybe you're wrong. Maybe it's time for you to read a little bit of your history and stop making stupid, easily defeated arguments. Just got all these fucking little boot-scooching lemmings just lined up at the cliff that is Paul's ego, waiting to jump off of it. You can go ahead if you want. There are many ways to be gay, and rejecting outward displays of kink is not anti-gay. Dude, you made a self-refuting fucking statement. There are many ways to be gay, but kink is not one of them. That's not anti-gay. Dun-dun-dun. The more you know. Oh, get me fucking, somebody get me a glass of water, please. I'll be back. You guys, lemmings keep lining up. The cliff is long and the fucking ocean is very cold at the bottom. Dumb little empty heads. What other arguments are you going to throw at the wall to see if they stick to this non-stick surface? Let's go. Come on. I deal with Puritans and puritanical thought all fucking day. This is nothing new to me. Come on. Come on, little lemmings. Line yourselves up one by one and jump off the cliff. Come on. You're right, Angry Gamer Show, you're right. Are we talking about Bud or Dabs right now? For anybody else that might want to ask a similar question, that guy just got banned for not following the simple rules of this chat. Let it be a lesson to you. No off-topic bullshit. No shit that makes you sound like a fucking 16-year-old. If you don't sound like you're 18 plus, you get banned. There they are. Read them and weep. Got a pretty decent turnout for this one tonight, so there might be some new folks around that aren't aware of the rules, but now they're aware. There they are in the chat. For those of you that are just listening, I'll read them. Adults only, 18 plus only, nonsense posts and off-topic discussions strictly prohibited. No side conversations, no adding excessively. Violators will be banned. Profile picture required. No all caps. Them's the rules. I'm assist, mostly head guy with no real experience in the community right now. Vosh had me in the first half, but your argument is more consistent. Thanks for being ever the contrarian and speaking true. That's what I try and do, my friend. Remember all caps when you spell the man name. All 200 characters being used in those rules, squeezed in as much as possible. Yep. They're good, they're clean, they're concise. I just want to live in the world where we are all equally ashamed of our kinks. Me too, man. Gay people just need to tone it down, you know? Your takes on this. I just don't understand. Like, I got to understand, dude. What is this new movement to sanitize all public spaces for children's eyes rather than leaving it up to parents to decide what their children get to see? When did that fucking switch happen in society? Because it wasn't like that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, adult spaces were adult spaces. Kids weren't brought into them. My parents wanted to go to some kinky shit, they left me at home. Got a babysitter. My parents wanted to go to the bar, they left me at home. They got a babysitter. My parents wanted to go bar hopping or go to some rough and tumble area or go to Mardi Gras. They left me with the babysitter. They never went to Mardi Gras, but just as an example. There was not this expectation that because they had 2 children, that the world conformed to the standards required for them. They decided where to take us and where not to take us, what to expose us to and what to keep from us. And now we live in a world where literal leftists are making arguments that pride should be sanitized to protect children. It's the same fucking argument that conservatives were making in the 80s and 90s. Literally indistinguishable from the argument that guys like Rush Limbaugh made in the 80s and 90s. I grew up listening to that dude with my dad. Oh my fucking God, dude, Jams. I don't know how to explain this to you better. You're not listening. Your preconceived notion of what is right and wrong doesn't exist in pride. It just doesn't. Pride is not about making you feel comfortable with it. It's actually about the opposite. It's about visibility. It's about coming out of the closets and into the streets and not worrying what moralizing, pearl-clutching fucking people like you think about what they do. That's what it's about. Pride is not about making you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside as a straight person and a conservative person. Dude, Vosh is floundering on this. If I were him, I'd move the fuck on from this shit. Get back to praising AOC or whatever it is he's been doing before this shit. Go back, yeah, actually do some good like you did with the fucking Palestine fundraiser and do another one of those. I'd move away from this shit. But he's going to dig his fucking heels in and lose a chunk of his audience over this stupid fucking nonsense and whatever. It's not going to hurt him at all. Wouldn't it be beneficial for gay youth to meet other gay youth at Pride to feel accepted? How's it helpful to expose them to sex kinks at such young ages? People that are wearing fetish gear are not exposing your child to sex kinks. You are exposing your child to sex kinks by bringing them to Pride. There are any number of family-friendly venues and events centered around Pride Month. Take your child to one of those if you want your child to meet other queer kids and queer activists in what you consider to be a safer and non-bondage ridden environment. Do not presume that the leather daddies showed up for your kids to ogle them. It was your choice to bring your little fucking curtain climber to Pride. Next. This lemming here that I just responded to has jumped in the fucking cold, icy water and swum back up to the top of the cliff 3 times now with dumb arguments. Anybody else not straight on this? Fucking yoga pants are fetish gear. Let's police women wearing yoga pants out in public because they're fetish gear. Butt-hugging fucking fetish gear. Let's police it. Let's get women in a big burqa. I know, exactly. Let's get women in a big burqa because women walk around with their tetas hanging out. And kids don't need to see that. Cover up those tetas. You're showing too much cleavage. Put it away. There's kids here. Where does it end? Nowhere with you motherfuckers. Oh, that dude's shorts are too tight. I can see his bulge. Better get him out of here. My kid. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Take your kid to Chuck E. Cheese where there's no bulge and no fetish gear and no leather daddies and let him play skee ball. Or if you care so much about inclusivity, even though there's already, like I said, a myriad of family-friendly, all-ages events centered around Pride Month, not day, month. If you really care about this, start up something in your local area for queer kids and parents of queer kids so that they can meet in a safe environment and you can ensure that there are no leather daddies. But you don't give a shit, do you? All you give a shit about is clutching your goddamn pearls and fucking standing on the chair as the mouse of fucking kink runs around on the ground and going, ee! Clutching the hem of your skirt. That's what you care about. Moralizing and making other people conform to what your idea of what they should or shouldn't do is. Fuck off. You procreating did not give you the right to walk into adult spaces or in public in general and tell society how to be because you've got a kid and you find this, that, or the other thing objectionable. That's like taking a kid to an NWA concert and then disrupting everybody and shutting it down because your kid heard it. What are you doing? Yeah, put your kids in daycare during Pride Parade. Get a fucking babysitter if you want to go to Pride. Or take them to any number of family-friendly venues at Pride fucking events all throughout Pride Month. Don't drag them to the parade and then get shocked if you see some assless chaps. If you don't want your kids to see that, you're not willing to have a conversation with your kids, or you don't think they're old enough to process what's going on with that, keep them away from the parade. Not vice versa. Not conform the parade to them and turn it into a snow cone fucking fair. It never was that, and it shouldn't be that until there's global queer acceptance. I tell you what, you get kid-friendly fucking pride when global queer acceptance has been achieved. And when people aren't closeted and outright fucking killed in their countries for being gay. Until then, your kids are secondary. Got it? Get it through your breeder head now? I don't mind you squatting out and having as many kids as you want, but don't expect me to conform myself to your expectations in public. That ain't the way it works. Your job to make sure that your kids don't see shit that you don't want them to see. Not mine. Crazy Killer's back. I'm glad to see that. I fucking checked 90 different things to get you back in here, and I don't know, I didn't even do anything. I don't know what was going on with your account, bro, but that was some stupid fucking shit. Don't get banned again, because, dude, I'm gonna scroll back up and look at that goddamn fucking nightmare. Dude, Crazy Killer had me chasing his ban up in here for all day the other day. I didn't spend all day doing it, but every time I came back to my fucking thing, I saw a new message from him going oh man, I'm still banned. Just fuck, dude, you're not on my ban list. Don't get banned again, Crazy Killer. Don't fuck up. Because I ain't going back through that shit again. I don't even know what the fuck that was. Shadow ban, and I know not to do whatever it was again. Yeah, whatever it is, dude. Most of these people would never even attend a pride parade in the first place, so why should their opinion be considered? It shouldn't. Thrown into the ether, yeah. I did some unbans the other day to some people who came to me in good faith and said, hey man, sorry, I fucked up, violated the rules or whatever, I want to come back. I unbanned 2, and then I got to Crazy Killer, and he just wasn't on the list. I'm looking, old names for his fucking account, tried adding him as a fucking approved user. He was just nowhere to be found. They're too addicted to Twitter to go outside, let alone to a parade. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that everybody that's involved in this discourse is a Twitter addict. I'm not saying they're not. The French champagne. The French champagne. There's a new champagne by Paul Masson. Our pride's easy to avoid if you live in the city. Easy enough, yeah. You also could move out of the city, too, if you find it objectionable. Paul Masson. There's a new vintner from California that abides by this self-same vintage. His name is Paul Masson. His name is Paul Masson. Fermented in a bottle. Johnny Depp should get fat and play fucking Orson Welles in a fucking Orson Welles biopic, dude. I think Fat Depp would be the best Orson Welles possible. Fat Orson, dude. I mean, Depp is already kind of fat. Him and Manson kind of got fat together. Like, he's not super fat, but he's pretty bloated looking, like, recently. Like, not fat, like, huge fat. But kind of, like, bloated. He's starting to get, like, a beer gut and shit. He could do it. Yeah, that liver failing bloat, yeah. Pretty sure they're both friends, if I'm not... No, they are. They're besties. They're bros. They're broskies. They chill together. They get down together. They roll together. Manson hiding his double chin with that scarf. I love the double chin hide with the scarf that comes up literally to his chin. Or when he does the face paint where it's like he just like blacks out his neck and like traces where his jaw used to be. Dude, I love that shit. I love Fat Manson. Fat Manson is a treasure. I don't care what he's done. Pardon Fat Manson and enshrine him in the Goth Hall of Fame now. Black is very slimming, yes. Yes. Fat Manson is a goddamn treasure, dude. Dude, yeah. I want to eat a big, fat, sloppy burger with Fat Manson. You know what I mean? Just get a big old double boulder combo at Colorado Grill. Sit there and just down it with Fat Manson. I've had a mid-rare burger, yes. I mean, I wouldn't even want to try to do my Manson eating a burger impression. One of the reasons why I want to do it is because I have no idea what Fat Manson trying to eat a burger would look, sound like. I can't even imagine it, you know? Oh, yeah, dude. What are those milkshakes where they bring you the big-ass milkshake and then they bring you the little metal cup that has the extra dodextra milkshake in it? So that you can drink like half the milkshake and then pour the extra in and you have a whole nother milkshake and then you drink that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. I want to take Fat Manson to a greasy spoon like that, like an old 50s style diner where we just eat giant greasy burgers and those milkshakes that come with the metal thing with the extra milkshake in it to wash that shit down with. To wash that shit down with, I said. Don't worry. It's a real honor, Mr. Manson. Thanks. Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be at 4 a.m. because we're talking about Manson here. I would get a strawberry shake for my Manson thing because I normally would get a vanilla shake, but I wouldn't want Manson to think that I'm boring, so I would get a strawberry shake. And he would probably get like a chocolate shake, I would imagine. That's when you realize his favorite milkshake is vanilla. He's like, all I ever get is vanilla. And you're like, God damn it. Now if I try and say like, I also always get vanilla, then I look like a poser. So now I have to stick by my strawberry shit. Fuck. All I ever do is eat vanilla. Nice toot. Bum 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 bum. It's one hell of a train. Yeah, Economos hungers today. Train travels the length of California, bringing the goods of Economos, for he hungers. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, yes, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him hair like roses and clover, and make me sure my lonely nights are over. Sandman, yes. I'm all alone, bum 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 bum, ain't got nobody to call my own. So please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring us a dream. Bum 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 bum. Oh yeah. A lot of these train cars end up heading to a depot that just gets hooked up to the endless engine of coal-fired plants and shit. It's fucking insane, man. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Nat King Cole Trap. Yeah, dude. Nat King Trap. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, mama, don't you blow your top. The monkey and the monkey. Trap King Cole. But don't. Dude, maybe I'll change my Beauregard name. Maybe I'll be Trap King Cole. A merry old soul, dude. Trap King Cole. Maybe I'll just use that as like, I'll just make that one of Beauregard's nickname. You know how like Old Dirty Bastard had like 90 different names. He was, you know, Big Baby Jesus and Dirt McGirt and, you know, all these different things, dude. He had like tons of AKAs. So I'll just be Beauregard, you know, AKA Trap King Cole. No, Slim Shady was very deliberately one part of Eminem's personality as a character. Yeah, Doom had multiple personalities. That's part of the fun of rap, is that you can kind of embody a character, and it's okay to do so. It's okay to let different parts of your personality be expressed in a creative way. You could have a rap battle with yourself. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum. Dude, somebody said Ziggy Stardust in the chat, and I'm gonna, dude, this is the name of the fucking album. I recommend you go find it and listen to it, because it's some hard ass shit. There's an album, I can't remember the dude's name, but he's like a slam poet, called Niggy Tardust. Maybe somebody can fucking refresh me on the dude's name, but that album is amazing. There's a couple of Saul Williams, thank you. Dude, that album is crazy good. Crazy good. Money, now I sleep. Good night, Tucker. Go to sleep and good night. Go to bed, little Tucker. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. For tomorrow you will wake. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Had a long day. It's all tuckered out. Made you yawn? Yeah, dude. I know. He's tucked in. He's all tuckered and tucked in. Kissed him on his forehead. I pulled the blanket up around his shoulders and I tucked him in. And he's all sleepy and ready for bed now. Put another nickel in the dream box, would you, doll? dude. I don't know, Zach. Probably because they're close to Canada up there, eh? Moose. They hunt the moose. Then I started knocking on my door and said, straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, mama, don't you blow your ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum. Yeah. I'd like to see how your hair fares in a blizzard. You know, I saw in the news media that our president called me Snow Woman. And I responded, I would like to see how your hair fares in a blizzard. Snow Woman, dude. She's back. Snow Woman. She's back, dude. She never left. Snow Woman is back, dude. Do you guys hear Warren the Snake is gonna run? Warren the Snake? I heard that she's like putting her hat into the ring. I heard, dude. I heard Warren the Snake wants to make a fucking run at it again. Yep. The Slytherin snake. She wants to slither out again. You know who else we haven't seen the last of? Booty Judge. Oh, he's gonna come back, baby. You think you got rid of Booty Judge? You think you got rid of that medium glass of 1% milk? No. Oh, Beto coming back in a big way. Delaney. Because here's the thing, if Joe Biden holds to what he was saying prior to the election, which that it was his intent to serve one term, the DNC has to primary Kamala. She doesn't get to automatically take the presidency. Like, there's a chance for there to be challengers. And that's what, like, we're talking about. Another goddamn electoral cycle where we've got all these crazy... Delaney comes back out. You know, hide your wife and guard your pooper, for here comes the Hickenlooper. He's coming back. You know, Hickenlooper's coming back. Oh, Jeb is definitely going to make another fucking run at it. There's no way. He's coming back, man. The Hickenlooper is coming back. Fucking John Delaney's weird-looking ass is coming back. Elizabeth Warren's dumb-looking ass is coming back. Fucking Snow Woman is coming back. Trump is coming back. It's going to be like a replay of 2016 all over again, dude. It's literally going to be the fucking 2019-2020 electoral cycle, but replayed. All the same idiots are going to come out. Howard Dean resurgence? I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. Michael Bloomberg? Oh, you can almost guarantee. Dude, can you imagine if Donald Trump comes back and wins? Can you imagine, dude? The utter failure and defeat of everybody that was involved in this fucking bully Biden fucking vote blue no matter who shit. Oh my God, bro. Oof. There's a better than good chance, dude. The nunt is hungry. Yeah. Biden keeps finding ways to be consistently weird and disappointing rather than actually helping anybody. And if he continues that in 2024, we got another Trump. He sets the tone and the timbre of the party, and people are excusing like, "Well, he didn't do it." Like, what was it recently? Oh yeah, student loan debt. He just took it off the table because, quote, it wouldn't pass Congress. What happened to the power of the executive order? He could end student loan debt with a stroke of his pen. He doesn't give a fuck. He never intended to in the first place, and neither did any of the fucking people you voted for and sent to Congress. Yeah, dude. I was arguing with somebody about this. I don't remember where. Was it in here? Was it on one of these? Somebody was like, "No, dude, there's no fucking way after what he did, after the Capitol riots, bro. After what he did, there's no fucking way." And I was like, dude, at the fucking convention, they had a golden statue of this motherfucker. He's the nominee. He's running again. He's made all the overtures to running again. He's going to be all involved in these midterms, trying to fucking go to these states that, recently flipped Democrat to try and make the argument to flip fucking Republican. He's going to be backing it. He's going to be mainstreamed by the time 2024 comes around, and the outrage machine that exists around Trump is going to have diminished to the point of fucking non-existence, and he's going to be right back. And there's a good chance he wins. What up, baby?
Sorry, I spaced out for so long.
What do you mean?
I started another playthrough of it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amelia's been playing,
I didn't expect it to just be, cut off once I found the suspect. There was a lot of stuff I missed out on, so...
Yeah, for sure. If you took, a real straight line through it, Amelia's been playing, Disco Elysium. Trump doesn't stand a chance against Delaney, dude. Oh my God, can you imagine? Delaney would pulverize Trump at the polls, man. That man is a paragon. A goddamn Adonis. Hot dog man versus the Cheeto. Dude, what if there's an ultimate backstab and Hot Dog Man, because he was so close to a Republican anyway, flips Republican and runs as fucking Trump's running mate, and it's like the picnic ticket, Hot Dog Man and the Cheeto. Dude, what if he flips the script? Dude, what if Hot Dog Man runs over and can you imagine? What a fucking 4D chess maneuver that would be. Hot Dog Man and the Cheeto teaming up. Or, he doesn't even leave the Democratic Party. He does one of these like John McCain was going to do with, who's that fucking senator? John McCain was going to have a Democratic Senator, Joe Lieberman. So John McCain, before Sarah Palin was chosen as his running mate, the last time he ran against Obama, he was considering running with Joe Lieberman on a cross-party ticket, committing to a one-term cross-party ticket to try and work across the aisle and solve the problems of America. And he scuttled that because somebody leaked it to the press, and it got chewed up before he could ride the momentum of it, and then Sarah Palin happened because of that. So he could just do that. Donald Trump could find one of these weak-ass fucking... Dude, he could pluck up John Hickenlooper or something and be like, look, I'm going to reach out to the other side. I picked a Democrat for my running mate, Mr. John Hickenlooper, Mr. John Delaney, Mrs. Tulsi Gabbard. Whoa. Whoops. Could happen, dude. You know what the ultimate backstab moment would be? The ultimate anime betrayal would be? The other night, I received a call from former President Donald Trump, and I felt that in that call he was very sincere. He asked me if I would join with him as his vice presidential candidate as a gesture towards bipartisanship and actually bridging the divide that we have in Washington. Can you imagine, dude? The ultimate anime betrayal, dude. Can you imagine, though? So you say it would never happen. Never say never, whatever you do. Never say never, my friend. My friend Donald, listen, I've known Donald for many years. Outside of the political arena, I consider him to be a close friend of mine. Yeah, dude, Count Dooku level betrayal for sure. I was going to immediately say no to Donald Trump, but then I looked at my windowsill and a tiny little robin had landed on my windowsill. And it chirped happily at me, as if to say, Bernie, take the nomination. So I have. Trump Sanders, 2024. Darth Sanders and Emperor Trump. Always two there are, master and an apprentice. Okay. Trust me, I know apprentices. Tonight, it's time for my apprentice to step out of the shadows. Apprentice, come forth. Hello, everyone. Hello, America. It's me, Darth Bernie. Dun, 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 dun. Yang, yeah. Have you noticed that since Yang went mask off, he has looked like extra veiny? Like it's like he's going over to the Sith side of things. Like I've noticed he's extra vein. Like you can see his skin is becoming extra veiny. It's happened, just like what happened to Obama. Look at Obama, dude. Obama in fucking like 2008, and then look at Obama in fucking 2016. Tell me that he wasn't Sithified. He was Sithed. Red lightsaber mittens. They're warm and functional. They were given to me by a teacher in the town that I work at. And they'll cut you in half. Lightsaber mittens.
You want me to just throw in a pizza, or did you want to?
No, that's cool. Yeah, if you want to. If you're feeling hungry, sure. Throw in a pizza. Sounds good to me. Hillary is Snoke. That's pretty lame. Let's stop with the fucking Star Wars shit, okay? I'm funny and you're not. No. Obama's no gray Jedi, dude. He's a Sith Lord for sure. My friend. My friend Joe Biden.
You hear that kitty out there?
Yeah. What's going on over there? What? Where's your bow? Where's your bow? Do you not want to play no fetch? Where's your bow?
They already had a fetch chasing those horrible people away from the yard.
Oh. Oh. Dinoaur, you're so finicky. You're so finicky. What are we gonna do with you? With your little truffula tree tail? Huh? What am I gonna do with you? Huh? When Aunt Chelsea visits, we're gonna get that whip tail.
Mm-hmm.
You getting a whip tail? I'm getting it. Again. Dinoaur for president. Yep, that I can back. Hashtag Dinoaur confidence.
I think Cricket might be a little bit better.
Why not a dual ticket? Cricket Dinoaur. Let him be the VP. Let him do it, Mom. Let him do it.
Dinoaur can be the check on Cricket, so
Yep.
to turn away his worst impulses and just messing up random things.
Yeah. Either that, or you could look at it like let Dinoaur be the president, but Cricket is like the Dick Cheney to Dinoaur's George W. Bush.
Yeah.
He's not really the president, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
Cricket's there making all the shit behind the scenes, sneaky like. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. What would be his slogan? Something like that. Yeah, there will be fetch all day. There will be belly rubs, right? There will be scritches. There will be snuggles and cuddles at night. There will be rawhides and pizzle sticks available for all. Borf, yeah. Borf. That's Dinoaur's campaign slogan there. Huh, buddy? Know what you gonna do? Get out of my yard. Yeah, dude. Throw, but no take. Dinoaur Cricket. Dinoaur slurping up a big ice cream cone, wearing a pair of shades, sitting on a cool car from the 1960s, wearing a 50s greaser outfit. He's ready, dude. The liberal world is ready for you, Dinoaur. They're ready. The best Elder Scrolls game, in my opinion, is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. He would probably be very anti-Fox, though. That may cause problems. His position on that has evolved somewhat and is currently evolving. Dinoaur has been in the process of examining his position on the Foxes and is willing to admit that he has moved his position slightly and may move it again in the future.
He's been a good boy about the foxes.
He has.
Not so much about everything else.
Because I explained to him the Fox-Hawk revolution that's happening. And he was like, well, I don't want to stand on that. I don't want to get in front of that, Dad. was like, well, then you can't chase the foxes no more. Because then the fox hawk revolution cannot happen. Oblivion has the best meme material. Well, whatever. I don't play it for meme material, but no, like, unironically, Morrowind, best fucking Elder Scrolls game to date. And that includes fucking Skyrim, that includes Oblivion. It's an old game, but if you take a little time to mod it up and modernize it a little bit, it's still a way better game, in my opinion, than the other two Elder Scrolls games. In my opinion, the modern Elder Scrolls games go Morrowind, Skyrim, Oblivion, in that order, with Oblivion a distant third.
You recommended Oblivion to me. I didn't do well with it for whatever reason.
I mean, they're all good. They're all playable games. I played through Oblivion, but you know, try some Skyrim. Skyrim's definitely like a more modernized interface and shit, but I don't know. For me, Morrowind is the tits. Yeah, that's what killed fucking Oblivion for me. It was the generic, like, forsooth, sir, prithee, dost thou have a horse that I might purchase? You know, that kind of shit. It was just generic medieval English village land, the game. And I was just like, eh. Because Morrowind is so fucking weird. Takes place on an island where the Dunmer, the Dark Elves, have like rule, and there's like mushroom forests, ancient crypts filled with vampires as far as the eye can see, of ancient Dunmer like families and stuff. This weird floating city, Vivek, all this shit. Like, it's just a really diverse, weird, alien type of environment to move around in. Didn't feel like other fantasy games. The weird silt striders that you use to ride around on, the big giant bugs they've turned into conveyance. Like, all that shit was just so utterly unique to the fantasy genre, and it just felt like nothing else I'd ever played. And then Oblivion comes out, and it's literally like cookie cutter. Forsooth, my lord, there is a great darkness growing on the land. Wilt thou take up thy sword and ride thy horse to meet it? Like, ugh. And then Skyrim came along, and at the very least, yeah, I liked Skyrim, and you know, it's not a fucking generic medieval theme. It's a theme that since Skyrim has been done to death, the kind of like Nordic Viking theme has taken over video games since Skyrim. Like, so many of these game franchises have dropped this Nordic Viking theme shit that just clearly all about fucking aping Skyrim. But like, of the remaining places that they could have set a new Skyrim and a new Elder Scrolls in part of the world that they haven't yet, they picked the least interesting to me. So they could have done a full game in Elsewhere, which is where the Khajiit are from. They could have done a full game in Blackmarsh, which is where the fucking lizard people are from. And instead they chose the Somerset Isles, where the goddamn fucking elves are from. It's like, all right, well, whatever. Argonians, yeah. Dude, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they basically turned God of War into a big Viking game. Like, the latest God of War is basically just a big Viking mythology game. I don't think the new game is in Hammerfell. I'm pretty sure the new game is on the Somerset Isles. So, like, think about the Teventer Imperium. They have been, dude. They dropped a teaser trailer for the new Elder Scrolls like a year ago or more now, and it shows them flying over a thing, and it looks like the Somerset Isles. It's in Hammerfell. Well, whatever. Same fucking criticism. Elsewhere or Black Marsh would have been way more interesting, way more audacious places to fill out with an Elder Scrolls game. Maybe even going so far as making the default like player character a Khajiit or a, now you don't have to pick them that, but like, you know how usually it lands on like a human or a Breton or whatever. Make the default character a fucking Khajiit if you set it in Elsewhere, or make the default character that it lands on a fucking Argonian if you set it in Black Marsh. Yeah, Bethesda being acquired by Microsoft does not give me a good feeling about the next one, nor does the absolute trickle of information that's come out about it. They just seem to be, I don't know. I mean, it has been years and years and years since Skyrim came out. So it's time, you know. But there was a lot of years between Morrowind and Skyrim, or sorry, Morrowind and Oblivion, and a lot of years between Oblivion and Skyrim. So any of these locations could be interesting. Any of them could be interesting. A Somerset Isles one could be interesting. I tried ESO and it was painfully boring. I wanted to like it. Same thing here, bro. I downloaded, like, because it's free now, basically, for the first part of it. And I was like, fuck it. What's it going to cost me to try it out? And so I tried to play it, and it was just, like, so cookie cutter, paint by numbers. All the areas felt so small and inconsequential. Seeing these other doofuses, like, ride around with their giant fucking blinged out polar bears chasing after them and shit was just, like, took me out of the Elder Scrolls fucking vibe so hard. And that coupled with the utterly dumbed down, streamlined like mechanics of that game, I just couldn't fucking play it, bro. Totally with you on that shit. Yeah, I could see it being good for lore, but I could not get into the gameplay or the like. It didn't feel like Elder Scrolls to me. I wouldn't be scared to try it, but if you're a fan of the games, I don't know that you'll end up liking it or not. Yeah, ESO is basically just World of Warcraft with a Elder Scrolls skin. Yeah, I mean, basically that's what they've made, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but is Elder Scrolls better on console or on PC? I honestly, like, I know I'm probably going to catch shit for this. I'm not a purist when it comes to that shit. There are people that swear by it on PC because it's moddable on PC, and I tend to agree that, like, as for long-term enjoyment, but the first time I played through Morrowind, I played through on the Xbox. All right? It was released on the fucking old Xbox, I think the original Xbox. And I played Morrowind on that, and I had a fucking blast playing the game the first time. I had a fucking blast playing it the second time that I went and got it on PC and played it there. I also played Skyrim through for the first time on PS4 or PS3, whatever it released on. It was PS3. So I don't really care, dude. The stick controls, like, I've gotten to this point in my life where, like, if a game allows me to play with my gamepad, there's a really good chance that I'm going to do it. I really do not care about the keyboard and mouse mechanic as much as I used to. I don't play, like, competitive shooter games, and a lot of these games have been adapted to the controller scheme so well that I can kick back in my chair and enjoy myself and not be, like, sweating over my keyboard and shit. Like some kind of try-hard, WoW guy from fucking South Park meme. You know what I mean? I have an old-ass Xbox 360 wired controller, USB controller, that I've had since before I was on DP, that I still use all the fucking time. Still works like a fucking charm. I've dropped that thing I don't know how many times. It just won't stop. Works with every game. No muss, no fuss. Like, I'm not getting rid of that motherfucker until it dies. Or it just becomes not supported anymore. Yeah, dude, sweating on the keyboard and fucking like all try hardened and fucking up in your mouse sensitivity and god damn it, I gotta work on my fucking, like, I can't play games like that no more, dog. Like, I don't mind playing a game like that, but if I'm doing it, I'd rather be playing some EVE Online with my Thrustmaster and shit, and my throttle, and just like, I'm a space captain now. Fuck this. I've graduated from being a grunt on the ground shooting aliens and shit. I'm a space captain now. That's what I do. Like today, I was fucking around. I finally broke down and bought Crusader Kings 3. It went on sale, so I got it with all the DLC and shit. And I've been fucking around in it, and I love how it's just such a slow-paced game. If I want it to be, it stops when I want it to stop. I can make decisions as quickly or as slowly as I want to. I can do it, you know, like I love that kind of like non-Twitch environment for gaming. It's so necessary, in my opinion. Yeah, dude, I can't really speak much for the Surge. I didn't play much of it, but the Surge 2 is dope. I've never tried Stellaris, no. Dude, I'm telling you, Crusader Kings 3 might be your game. It's totally fucking slow. It's cool. There's no right and wrong in it. There's no way to win the game. It's all about like a sandbox experience. You can do other things and just leave it running and come back to it, and you know, it auto saves all the time. It's just a great game that doesn't demand your constant fucking attention. Like, you can pause it and look at something else and drift in and out of it. Very relaxing so far. I just got through the tutorial and started fucking around in the game a little bit, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Yeah, it's a medieval sim, but it's like not like a combat based game like a lot of the other games that I'm brain farting the name of the company, but Paradox. Paradox Interactive makes Hearts of Iron and Victoria and Europa Universalis and Stellaris. These are known as very, very intensive 4X kind of games. And Crusader Kings is much more based on like dynasties than amassing giant armies. Now, you can amass giant armies in Crusader Kings, and a lot of people do, but you can also play the whole game just being kind of an agent of intrigue. It's all about sandboxing and setting goals for yourself and picking a leader and trying to see what you can do with them and how far you can get with them. And I like that. I like that there's no like, you've won the game. Like, the game doesn't do that, you know? It's not about that. It's not in-depth in military terms as other sims, more focused on the characters and expanding your empire, right? Like, you do shit like start murder plots against characters who are a thorn in your side and would be better off dead, or arrange marriages with people who are in your court with people that are in other places and try and cement some alliances that may lead to some, you know, title claims down the road, and you might be able to press a claim and take a little chunk of Europe or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing that it's about. It's not necessarily about amass giant army and destroy everybody. Which game consoles have you owned throughout the years? So if you include the ones that I didn't technically own that my parents bought for me when I was a kid, I've had, in my house, I've had, well, the first game, it wasn't a game console, but the first video game I ever played was on a Commodore 64 128. My dad had one of those. The first game I ever played was called Cave of the Word Wizard. It was a kid's spelling game that's actually really disturbing. You should go watch a playthrough of it. So I had a Commodore 64 128 that was a personal computer, one of the first commercially available personal computers in the 80s. I had an NES, although I didn't get it right when it was brand new. I was only 6 years old when the NES came out. I didn't get an NES till probably I was around 10 or so. Got an NES. Games by that time were cheap. And then the console wars started, and there was this kind of split between Super Nintendo and Genesis. Pretty much all of my friends got Super Nintendos. I got a Genesis. I wanted a Genesis. I'd seen the difference between Super Nintendo graphics and those Genesis graphics. I'd seen Sonic the Hedgehog, and there was no game in the world that I wanted to play more than Sonic the Hedgehog. So I asked my parents for a Genesis and eventually got one a couple of years into the life cycle of the Genesis. Actually, I don't think it was that long into the life cycle of the Genesis, actually, because I had an original OG Genesis. If you look at the first release Genesis with that round top. So I had that, and then because I got a Sega Genesis, I was able to get all the little weird add-ons and shit for it. I didn't have them all. Well, I did, actually. At one point, I had a 32X. At one point, I had the original Sega CD, which is actually dope. The fucking... Genesis would just sit on top of it. It was like very functional, honestly, for the original setup. But yeah, I had that. I never had the second release of the Sega CD. I had the original one that looked like a fucking CD player. So I had that. And then the last console that I had while I was living with my parents, and it was not mine, it was more just like everybody, because I lived with all my sisters and shit, and they played it too, was we had a Sony PlayStation, PS1. And then when I moved out, I was able to afford a used PS1 and brought a bunch of games with me, or bought games as I could afford it. And I had a few games on the PS1, so I had that for the longest time. Even after the PS2 came out, I had my PS1. Then after the PS2 was out for a while, I bought one for myself. And I had a PS2. I've had a PS3. I had a Nintendo GameCube in there somewhere, which was actually a really cool console. Kind of sad that more people didn't adopt it. I had an original Xbox and an Xbox 360 at one point. So I've had a lot of fucking consoles now that I think about it. Yeah. And the last console that I've had a Nintendo. I bought the Nintendo, not the Switch. What was the one that came before the Switch with the big... I have it still. I just can't remember what they fucking called it. The Nintendo, the thing that, I don't remember. Whatever. I had that one. I had a Switch. Yeah, I had a Wii U. Yeah. I had at one point I had a Wii for a while, but I hated the Wii. I had a Wii U. Yeah. I have a 3DS XL that I still play around with a bunch of games. But I never had any of the other DSs or handhelds or whatever. As of right now, the only console that I own is a PS4, and it's not even a PS4 Pro. It's just like an original PS4 Slim or whatever. And I've still got packed up somewhere the Wii U that I mentioned, and I've still got my 3DS XL. But I don't have anything else, console-wise. Yeah, I just found the Wii like a novelty thing, and it was really annoying to play with, so I just kind of shelved it. GameCube was a great console, bro. My favorite GameCube game, and I can't believe that it hasn't been remade and re-released, Eternal Darkness. It was like a survival horror game a la Resident Evil, but with a total Lovecraftian psychological horror twist. Dude, GameCube was fire, you're right. The original console, by the way, that Resident Evil 4 came out on, which completely changed the game for Resident Evil games. What else came out on GameCube that was really good? There was a really good F-Zero game on the Cube that I played a lot of. I never really got great at it, but I was decent at whatever it was, F-Zero Unity or whatever came out on the GameCube. I can't remember what the name of it was. That's probably wrong. What else was there that came out on the Cube? Metroid Prime. Dude, Metroid Prime, bro. That game alone. I remember my friends were always over at my house wanting to play Metroid Prime. Wind Waker was on the Cube. You're right. I had Wind Waker on the Cube. Just a lot of great fucking games. I never got into Smash or Super Monkey Ball, but you know, I've since like watched people play them and stuff, and I can appreciate them. F-Zero GX, thank you. Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. That was a cool console. Kirby Air Ride, underrated game. Didn't play it. Missed out on GameCube, thinking of buying one. Dude, if you can find one, they're pretty expensive now, probably, because Nintendo doesn't make them anymore. They're like collector's items now, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they're cheap because they were so ubiquitous still, but I got a feeling that people are snapping them fuckers up because they were a cool little console. Snap them up. Super Mario Sunshine is... Oh, yeah, Mario Sunshine was great. Had that. Oh, and Animal Crossing, the original. Dude, me and my ex played Animal Crossing all the fucking time. We had villagers in the same village and shit in Animal Crossing, the original OG Animal Crossing. Well, see, the good thing about this shit is that you can emulate a lot of these games now. Like a lot of these GameCube games, you can totally use. I think the emulator for GameCube is called Dolphin. You can totally get ROMs for these games. You can totally emulate them as long as you got a PC or like a Raspberry Pi, fucking computer, little box setup or whatever. Is there a difference between the OG Animal Crossing and the new one? I mean, just like, I don't know, not really. The base game basically is the same. You move into a village, there's little cute animals that live in the village. They send you mail, you send them mail, you collect bugs, collect fossils. If you log on Christmas, there's a big Christmas party. If you log on your birthday, all the animals throw you a party. If you log on Halloween, all the animals are in spooky costumes and blah, blah, blah. And there's events, and when you take part in them, you can get things. Like, it's basically the same fucking game. Yeah, each animal had its own little voice and shit. Like, you can never hear what they were saying, but it was all... You know, that shit. Yeah, Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. I had that on the Cube. That was actually a pretty cool little chill game to play. Precursor to like Stardew Valley and those types of games. The like farming sim, I guess you'd call it. Oh yeah, Soul Calibur 2, Bloody Roar. Yeah. Video games used to be cool. No, they're still pretty cool, honestly. Crusader Kings 3 that I'm talking about. Dude, there's a new patch. I was telling fucking Marshall Manson about this shit. I was like, bruh, that new fucking patch came out for... Because I thought Marshall played some fucking Elite Dangerous. I think he does. It's like, Marshall, we gotta hook up and do some space trucking and shit in the new shit. I got money. Dude, I've got guap in fucking Elite Dangerous. I ain't super ultra dodeca rich, but I got guap. I got money. We got to play some of that. Me and Marshall. We got to take over space. Yeah, they just released a new patch that lets you get out of your shit. Like you can land on certain planets and like run around and I think build bases or build certain structures on planets and visit planets in a very different way and survey them in a very different way. So they've really like, that's a game that like came out, I think in 2016 or some shit that they've just constantly kept alive with updates and improvements. Yeah, I've got my AI still I'd probably have to download an update for her or whatever, or just get a new one. But get voice attacks. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Get voice attacks set up so I can give her commands, vocal commands. Time Splitters, bro. That game was so good. You're right. All the different weird characters that you unlock. It was such a cool game. Wind Waker is probably like, I don't know. It's a tie between Wind Waker and fucking A Link to the Past for me for my favorite Zelda experience. Pretty much two-way tie. I never owned a Dreamcast. I had a friend that had a Dreamcast. So I had a friend that would bring over his Dreamcast, and I think that was what we played. Soul Calibur on. No, I never played through Breath of the Wild. Majora's Mask. I like Majora's Mask a lot too. I play Majora's Mask any day before I played fucking the one that everybody worships, fucking the N64 one. What is it? Whatever it is. The Ocarina of Time. Fuck the Ocarina of Time, dude. Give me some of that. I love how dark Majora's Mask is. Like, it's the dark fucking Link game. Fuck Ocarina. Fuck a motherfucking Ocarina. Oh shit, it's raining.